Um, how many times the word Jerusalem is mentioned in the Quran? Okay. How many times the word sons of Israel is mentioned in the Quran? Do you know?
No,
Jerusalem is 0 times mentioned in the Quran.
really?
Sons of Israel is mentioned 43 times.
Oh,
Okay. In the Quran, you have a phrase that's saying that the sons of Israel will enter Israel only when they can beat the monsters, Amalek, and all that. It's in the Quran al-Kareem. So any Muslim knows that. Any radical Muslim will try to wipe that and not even talk about it. Okay? This is the Quran. Now, I want to go for the Bible because I want to move through each religion, and then if you're an atheist, I will address that as well. You know, a lot of people ask me why you are such a defender of the Jewish state as an Arab Christian. And I say because it's written in my religion. 2025 years ago, Jesus was born. In the Bible, which is written in Arabic, because I'm an Arab, it says this, وُلِدَ فِي بَيْتِ لَحْمِ الْيَهُودِيَّة. It's written. And what I said is that Jesus was born in the Jewish Bethlehem. Hold on. I thought that based on what the Palestinian says, they were before the Jews. But Islam came only in the 7th century. Jesus was there 2025 years ago. And he was born as a Jew. His mother, Miriam, and his dad, Joseph, Jews. Nazareth was a Jewish town, the town where I'm from. Yep. He was born in the Jewish Bethlehem, as it says in the Bible. In the Bible, we say he came to his own people and his own people deny him. Okay. To which people we are referring to? The Jews. Jerusalem. He entered Jerusalem to his people. Who was in Jerusalem? The Jews. So you have countless evidence 43 times in the Quran, countless evidence in the Bible, and of course in the Torah. I mean, it's based on that, so I don't even need to go there. But let's say you do not believe in religion. Let's say that you're an atheist. The history is there. So I'm going to ask this. Based on that, this land was occupied by so many empires and the armies, you know, from the Ottomans to the Brits to the Romans, whatever you want, Babylon and all that. When it was occupied or owned by the Arab Palestinians, tell me. And if it is, tell me what was the leader of that country, empire, the government, the army? Please.
I don't know.
So there is this guy who went into the West Bank and he asked the Palestinians, give me the most important figure in your history of Palestine. Do you know what they responded? Over 90% of them? Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat, who was born in Egypt. Yasser Arafat, that we are talking only from the last decade, you know, to 70 years ago. Yeah. So your history is all about 70 years ago. I thought you were going back way, way, way thousands of years. Yet your most important figure in your history of the Palestinian history is Yasser Arafat, a person who was born in Egypt, spent most of his life in Tunisia and in Lebanon, terrorizing Israelis, both Arabs and Jews. That is your most important figure? Because I can speak about King Solomon and King David. Yeah, that goes thousands of years ago. So, based on that, the fact that they do not know, we arrive to modern history. And modern history says like this. The last empire to control this territory before the establishment of Israel, the state of Israel, it was the British Mandate. And during the British Mandate, there were Arabs and Jews living in that territory. Now, I should say, the word Palestine, yeah, it came, if you ask any Palestinians what the meaning of Palestine, they have no clue. They have no clue, absolutely zero clue. I've asked them. I have it on video, by the way, in many of my lectures.
Yeah.
Someone from Gaza, tell me, what is the word or the meaning of Palestine? What do you mean? Yes, what Palestine? What does it mean? Where the name came from? They don't know how
Does
to
it mean
answer.
conqueror?
You know, so
Yeah.
no, so Palestine, it's a before it was Palestine, it was the kingdom of Judea.
Yeah.
And after the Bar Kokhba rebel, the Romans, as a punishment measure, changed it to Palestine. At the beginning, yeah, it was Palestina, yeah, and it was meaning the cities on the shore, on the beach, such as Ashkelon, Gaza, Ashdod, all those cities, they got the name Palestine. Then after that, they extended it. That's the name. That's where the name is. It's a Roman name, not an Arab name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's skip back after we understand why they call the region Palestine, Palestina. Yeah. If you jump and go back again to modern history, and just prior to 1948, the UN came with a resolution and a plan called the Partition Plan, which they divided the land between Arabs and Jews. Watch this. They never said Palestinians. Arabs and Jews. Yeah? Not Palestinians. Because no one even referred to them as Palestinians. I'll even give you a really interesting story, personal story. My grandfather, he lived during that war. And he was living in a village called Jesh. Jesh, Gush Khalav, is a village on the borders, on the northern border of Israel to Lebanon and Syria. And when the war broke, yeah, the Arab leaders from Lebanon and the Arab leaders from Syria told my grandfather and the other leaders of the village, evacuate. Go towards Lebanon or towards Syria, okay? We will win the war and you will get back to your lands. My grandfather said, no, I'm staying in my land, and if the IDF arrives, I am going to tell them, this is our land, we're not going to fight you, but we're not getting out of our land. They said, they will kill you, they will murder you. I said, I'm not leaving my land. And truly, the IDF entered Jesh, Gush Khalav, and until today, we have our lands. And I'm not saying that, really bad things happened during the war on both sides. It's a war. At 1948 even. I understand that. Everybody understands that. Nobody denies that. But it is a war. Yeah? And specifically to the story of my family kept their lands like other families in the area. We did not fight the IDF. And then later we become part of Israel, citizen of Israel. And until today, I thank God by that, because I actually live in the only democracy in the Middle East. Now, just to go back again, after, we said the partition plan. Partition plan was a plan to split the land between the Jews and the Arabs. And in fact, Arabs got more natural resources than the Jews. Yet the Jews agreed to the plan and the Arabs did not.
Yeah.
And then the Arabs opened the war. They lost the war. Okay. You lost the war that you started. It's your problem. Deal with it. Move on. So I have here an answer to atheists, people who believe in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. That's exactly what we spoke. Now, based on all that, if you still think that the Palestinians are indigenous to this land, you're a knucklehead.
Yeah.
No more than that.